I choose you too, tour. I chose Corey. And so we shout out to the Hodge twins. We're going to continue the tour and we're going to get it popping. All right. What's going on, y'all? Pre-fade and post-fade juice. Oh, I know you ain't gonna let an internet nigga troll you, Corey. Jesus Christ, bro. I'm gonna make $1 million off of you, bro. I'm going to make $1 million off of Corey alone. Because I know the money game. Corey broke. A lot of people don't even really know that. Corey's struggling. Corey's struggling like a motherfucker. He had already alienated his friends. He don't really have no motion on his own. And so a lot of what he got to do, he got to hit the road. I could stay at home and be calm and cool and collected. Corey got to hit the road. Man, listen, man, these niggas is tapped. These niggas is tapped. These niggas is tapped. Anyways, y'all said Anton stop talking shit. Well, that's what he was doing.
Hey, this is Individual Perspective Podcast. I'm your host, Daris D. McKinney, and I'm trying to bring my mic in here. Okay, there we go. How you guys doing? Oh, yeah, we're getting in it. We're getting in it. Hopefully we get to wrap pretty much the bulk of all this stuff up. I always find that it's stuff that I wanted to say in the context of all this Anton Daniels versus Corey Holcomb saga. Once again, I want to make sure I emphasize this really good right now. The reason why I'm covering this is because I think it tells the totality of our social climate right now. You know what I mean? That the things that I think that is valuable for individual people. I don't care if you're rich or poor or black or white or Asian or Hispanic, Middle Eastern, whatever. It kind of all falls into the context of it all. How you got to play the game inside of United States of America. And one of the things, the reason why I started to clip the actual episode off with that clip is for years, Anton, he's been talking about this I Choose You tour. And what that means is he goes to different towns, and you're such a weak man and you're weak to your status in your house or your relationship or whatever you're doing. If he finds your girl attractive or substantial enough, he'll take her from you. You know what I mean? So that's the I Choose You tour. So when he says that in kind of social media banter, that's what he means by that. For me, it's like, you can take her. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I want any guy in the world, if your girl could be taken or your wife or your woman could be taken by high society or whatever, the stature or certain better looking person or whatever that could take your woman from you. She wasn't yours in the first place. It's good. It's great information to know when you got a mole, you know what I mean? Or you got something that's not sustainable, or if it's just got to end. People got to understand life can't grow if you're dead. Your life can't grow if you're dead. But anything besides that is something to utilize to better you off. So now that I told you guys, this leveled up culture is crazy. That's why I don't want to hear people talk about Christianity. I don't want them to talk. It's like being a good person means that you're unifying people. And the first people you need to unify is men and women. You get what I'm saying? And status and structure should not be the premise of the unification when we're so broken from unification. We are dead in unification. Men are using women for what they can get because women are in autonomy in their feminist mode where they can engage and they can have autonomy over their body and do whatever they want without marriage or anything else, because it gives them thrill and give them ambassadoring of the will of their life. If that's the game, take advantage of it. And that's how men have been taking advantage of it. I don't have to court you. I don't have to marry you to get what I want. And what you won't do, somebody that's 100 times better looking than you, hotter than you, would do it. That's a guarantee. That's a guarantee for any kind of man with any kind of substantial structure to himself. That's his playing field. Okay? So when you see stuff like this crazy stuff, I choose you, Tor, and all that, so please have fun, enjoy, inform a man on information he don't know. That is nothing. High IQ says that's great data, and you utilize data. Data can only give you an advantage. You know what I mean? So that's crazy. But I play that because how he said that, I chose Corey a couple of days ago, meaning that he preemptively went in there to show Corey up and be antagonizing or be in confrontation with him and to devalue him when he went in there. And I don't care. I don't know what Corey, like I said, I haven't really dug into Corey's stuff yet. I do know Anton, and man, he got a great oratorial way of communicating the Bible. I think it's a it factor that's in Anton Daniels. But the more that he gets engulfed into the bag chasing and he gets engulfed into like status and level up culture, you know, he ain't gonna be doing no God's work. He gonna be doing his work. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying he got to do God's work anyway. With his plan to succeed in life, it's absolutely working, and I don't think he should shift from it. I know how the other side is. I've been there, done that. So he shouldn't have to deal with it. But the reason why I bring this up to you guys, because I it's a couple things that I was saying in the totality of me wanting to point out certain things about like what some of the successful people that you look up to, what they're doing in this part of their everyday function, and they're not going to communicate it to you. That's why I always say that the reason why I don't like celebrities is because they got the cheat code. They got the information that you need to be empowering in your life. They got that book, but they won't give it to you. They want They won't have a conversation with you. I'm grabbing a clip from the background. We'll go to it in a second. They won't give you the information that will absolutely make you better. Why? Because it's so blunt and so in your face that you'll utilize it, and it'll be a value to the average person. Like, you got 10 people, 7 out of those 10 people will grab onto it because what's communicated is so logical and so sensible and so matter of fact and so black and white that people adopt it, because to go against it is kind of showing your illness, showing your trauma, showing your defect. And obviously human beings are self-sustainable, improvable, so that we will want to change something that we have come to contact or come to realization that is an error. We do that really well. Human beings, majority of us do that really well. And like I said, I don't talk about the anomalies. People like Denzel Washington, Barack Obama, Antoine Fuqua, Spike Lee, Beyonce, a lot of the high society black people, Michael Jordan and all that, those are anomalies. All the way down to the corporate exec that's making the 6 figures a year. Those are anomalies. They're not the majority. They're literally in the 15th percentile of the population of America. 75% to 85% of the population of America is very similar in what's going on in their life and the stuff that they kind of interact with in the social dynamics and relationships and situations. That I always tell people, don't think you're so special when stuff is going on in your life that it's like you look at your life as it's totally dead. There's nothing left. This is life. It's not. It's just your God. You have to understand that at a certain time in your life, you're going to have to transition to what's best for you. Why? Because what's best for you stabilizes your situation, that gives strength and value to the people around you. When you start to try to follow a goal that's all about self-sustainability, or not even self-sustainability, because that's for yourself, preservation of people to like you, around you, and your closest peers, you're going to fail at that because you're pursuing a goal that they want you to pursue, and that may be only good for them. And the psychosis of human beings is, what have you done for me lately? So right after you accomplish a goal for a person, you got to go do the next goal for them to have some kind of respect for you or value for you or something like that. So if you're chasing that validation from an exterior person, it's a never-ending battle, and it can't be sustained because you're chasing your tail. But if you sustain yourself, if you empower yourself, if you give validity to your function, you will stabilize yourself, and you'll actually understand, what do you need to empower, to have power over everybody you come in contact with or that's around you? What do you need to have power and dominance over them? You'll ensure that to yourself. You'll build it into yourself, and then it stabilizes your surrounding and people that interact with you. So no matter what their demands are, it's effortless for you to manage that situation because you're sustained for it. The reason why I bring this up to you is because people like Anton Daniels, you look at him, you look at his career, you look at how he talks and how he communicates, and you say, man, this man got a backbone. He is strong. He is steadfast to what he's doing and what he wants. And everybody else is secondary. And you're like, wow, man, where did he get that from? His father. His father was that's how his father ran his household. Who is the most important and most valuable person to Anton Daniels? His father. That's where he gets his psychosis from. He might tell you, oh, I did all the different decision making to go into tech and to go into the corporate world and all that stuff like that. I made that decision. You made that decision out of processes that was instilled in you from your household and your father. How you see him conduct himself, how he interacted. Certain psychosis, people don't understand that a majority of who you are is gonna be in your making from 5 years old to 13 years old. Not your teenage high school years. You just put a lot of your behavior, a lot of your thought process into action when you're in high school. You touch the stove to see if it burns. But behavior, understanding of context and understanding of structural things and behavior things, you kind of pick up a lot of that stuff when you're 5 to 13. Then you put it into motion when you're your high school years, your late teens, and then in your 20s, you actually get out there and see what works and what don't. And in your 30s, you start to build a structure that, okay, that didn't work, this worked, I'm going to consistently do this. By the time you get into 40s and your 50s, you're already in a routine. Whatever is you, and you're going to go to the death with it. Okay? That's how the human brain works for females and male, but majority men brains work. Okay? I'm trying to summarize a lot of information because throughout this series, it's about 7 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. Now it's a lot, you know what I mean? I gotta look and see where it's at. But all of this stuff, even if you hear me kind of hesitate in my thought process, or I try to collect the thoughts or try to formulate a way that I wanted to say something, I'm in total consciousness of what I want to say. I'm just under the guides of YouTube and what they restrict you to saying and historical value, because one of my number one models of doing podcasts is I never want to have to pull an episode because everything I said in it was wrong. You know what I mean? I was bringing up shallowness in a couple episodes because I was saying that Anton, you got to be kidding me if Anton hasn't went over human shallowness with his daughter and his wife and everything and like that, because that's how he runs his life. He's a very shallow person. He wants the best of Rolex, Gucci, Porsche, high society life, nice houses, multiple houses, real estate, money, carrying around bands of cash and $10,000 bands and stuff. He wants the best of everything. And then if his wife is not the hottest, he wants it to be the hottest on his panel. He's extremely, horribly, bluntly, rudely shallow. And then he comes on the air and he acts like shallowness is not even an equation that he even protected his household with, to say, hey, this is the real world. This is how we got to understand how the world works. These are the things that we could do to kind of rise above the shallowness of the world. You got to be kidding me. So I say that because I want to go back to like for me, when I'm coming into this podcast stuff, I don't really know who Anton Daniels is in the beginning to now, but it's a major changeover. And if he's not going to tell you guys, I'm going to tell you guys what's the psychosis of a person moving like he does. You get what I'm saying? So, give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull this up as I'm talking to you guys at the same time. Okay, boom, boom. So I want to go through the psychosis of Anton Daniels in my individual perspective and what I feel that should be contextual for the audience. Okay. So let's put people on the screen. Okay. Okay. So I want to watch this video because obviously a lot of stuff, maybe Anton scrubbed it from the internet or from his, when he was doing his old postings and stuff like that. Maybe I'll go track some of this stuff down. But so far, this is the only stuff I could see. I would have to go through his whole catalog to kind of catch myself up on maybe something that is depth in the back. But I said, okay, before the big football players with the big beards and the baseball players with the big beards and the Rick Ross beard and all that stuff, and Anton was kind of forming that look, and before he went straight bald and all the other stuff, you get what I'm saying? This is kind of close to where he's at now, but we were talking about probably about 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know. I would probably have to track this down. But he got people that hate him. They hate his bombasticness, and they hate his personality, and they kind of do exposés on him and stuff like that. So I'm not doing that because I dislike him. I think Anton Daniels' mindset, sadly, is what I think every man should adopt. And you got to do it now. We're about 40 years late from adopting this mindset. And it has put us in such a terrible situation where even our relationships and different stuff like that is like featherly off track. Meaning that it's not even taking a lot to disrupt certain logical behaviors in the way that we interact with each other, relationships, business, and everything. Like, it's like for things to go disruptive or things to not be in a success or something of grandeur or value or improvement, it's a feather of the difference it is between value and no value. Okay? So how did we get there? How did everything that's wrong with men and women, business, growth, prosperity, why is it so? The improvement of your economic situation can be easily done, but it can be easily prevented too. Why is it like that? It's because the foundation of men and our growth process and what we learned about the sun and the moon, the air, water, oxygen, what we've learned in the last 2,000 to 3,000 years, we just completely spit and shitted on that for 70 years, for the past 70 years. And now, as we sit here in 2026, we know it ain't worked. This theory of this new way of evolving and managing and interacting with each other and stuff like that. And that's another thing. I say each other, it's a Mid-Eastern thing. I mean each other. But I'm going to try to make sure that I say each other. I say each other, you're going to hear it a lot in my podcast, but I know how to say each other, and I know that's the actual accurate pronunciation of it. But I guess a Midwestern thing is to say each other. So I'm going to try to catch myself on that. But anyway, in the structure of the 2,000 to 3,000 years, we completely threw it all away. What was learned about humans, about kingdoms, about conquering, about goals, about execution, about battle, about what it takes to win. We just completely threw it away, and we adopted this pussy, weak, understanding mindset in the last 60 to 70 years. It was all in theory that we needed to go into this direction. But now that we're in 2026, after 60 to 70 years, we kind of know now we made a bad decision. We made a terrible decision terrible decision. So now that women even tell the men that they hate that they're not masculine, that they hate that they're not dominant, that they hate they're not providers and all that stuff. Men can't be providers when men subverted 50% of their ability to make money to bring in a workforce that is female. We weaken the ability of economic growth, of economic ability to just go out and get it. Now we got to find new ways to get it. We got to find certain ways and social dynamic ways to get it that's approvable by the masses, by the high society. That conflict, that mind fuck, that's confusion has put men where they don't even know where to stand up, sit down, move to the left, move to the right, move forward, move back. They don't know. So every time we articulate ourselves, we got to be clear. How do you turn yourself and improve yourself and motivate yourself and understand what you're doing to yourself? You have to be blunt and clear, and you have to understand most of the people around you are your enemy. You love them to death. They don't mean no harm by it. They're not technically trying to be your enemy. It's just the way the society is. And some people are just agreeing with the flow of society, so they don't know that they play a factor in a lot of everyday function that may hinder you or be in opposition to what you're actually attempting to achieve and do. So people don't mean it, but it's just the way that society is. And if we don't take any accountability of what are we doing in our life and how does it complement the person that we're around or our family or friends and all that stuff like that, or partners and stuff, you'll find that you got a dysfunction or a disruption in flow. Why is that disruption in flow? Is because there's too many different ideologies. It's too many. You get what I'm saying? If you want a company to be successful, the company has to all in unison, no matter what the departments are, sales, manufacturing, the worker bees, or let's say the employees and the front office or the administration staff, no matter what it is, they're all following the same suit and the same mission and the same goal. They know the execution of the goal, and they cannot interject what they think is best for the company because that's not what their job is. There's a mandate that's set. Everything that you do needs to somewhat merge into that mindset, merge into that mandate. And that's how you got to be in your relationships. That's how you got to be in your household. That's where you got to be in your goals. That's why you see some people, they businesses are very, like even me as a filmmaker, I see a lot of local people that they little wedding stuff and all that different things that they do is flowing because they don't have problems in the close proximity of them. They're all in unison of the goal and the direction. That's how you got to be. That's how you got to move. Okay. So in order for you to understand and me to show proof of my concept of the things I just talked about, I want to go a little bit into my individual perspective of Anton Daniels. This is all alleged. This is my theory. This is my perception, my perspective of the facts I see that are actual facts. Okay. And this is how I perceive who he is, who he was, and who he is now. Okay. So, and the reason why we do this is because I think Anton Daniels is very important. He's the new life. He's the new validation of the direction men should be in. He's the new poster child for, okay, who are men and what are the best progress of men. You get what I'm saying? And so you can't, you want to say, okay, is Denzel Washington the best process of men? No. He's not communicative. He's not out there. He's trying to preserve his opinion, his religion, his perception of things so he won't get alienated from Hollywood or different producers or different studios and all the other stuff. If somebody approaches him and they ask him about stuff, he'll come out and say what his beliefs is. He's straight up about that. You know what I mean? If you leave him room to actually have pride and respect for himself to what he really thinks about something, because you pose the question that makes him have to present what he really feel about it, he'll come out and say it. But he's not on the front line fighting. He's trying to say, hey, this is what my beliefs are, but as long as you don't ask me that, or as long as you put me in the context of that, I don't even have to communicate it. You don't even have to worry about me saying it. You don't have to see me interrupt or interject my psychosis or the way I am into any of the business of cinema that we're doing right now. And that's okay. I'm not saying nothing wrong about Denzel. I think he's one of the great minds of our race and stuff, and our ethnic group and Black Americans. I think he's a hell of a representation. But I think right now so much has been destroyed inside of the Black community and with Black men that I don't think we should be on the sidelines. Nobody should be on the sidelines. Black men should be able to at the least be able to look up mindsets and thought process and some kind of formula to improve their circumstances and the trick that they have in their mind that they must be passive. It's not a place for a man to be passive. And the way that we are, that's an error, and we have to snap out of it. And if you're lucky, you can snap out of it in your 30s. You snap out of it in your early 40s. If you go into your 50s, there's no reason to snap out of it, because what you're going to get out of life, you already got it. You get what I'm saying? So you can improve. That's not always a guarantee, but you'll have to beat all the psychological makeup of your brain to beat who you are and change it. And trust me, that's a hard thing to do. Okay? The reason why I'm able to kind of transition and do stuff, because it's always been with me since like 1996. I always had a thought process about how I need to go into life, and I kick it into that gear all through my life. You get what I'm saying? All through my life, I kind of was aware of it when I was young, and I went through a hell of an experience with my brother's death, and I always kind of held it close to my vest, kick into this mode when you see bullshit. You get what I'm saying? So let's go into Anton Daniels, okay? So LTTV, I'm using his clips and whatever butchering that he did to the video, because that's the only way I can present this, okay? So let's go into Anton Daniels' character, okay?
Ever really completely on money. And I'm not telling you not to be successful. My focus is not ever really completely on money. And I'm not telling you not to be successful. Be successful in everything you do. What I'm saying is be happy,
Just to beat you.
People are always comparing themselves or trying to be something that they're not. Or
You will never catch me. You will never be better than me. And I'm going to make sure of it, because
money is going to come with it. I promise. The success. It's just important to have that work-life balance.
Yes, guys, please like, follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Forgot to introduce myself. My name is Daris D. McKinney. This is Individual Perspective Podcast. And yes, we're here for another one. But let's let the continuation of the premise from LTTV go.
I'm broke. Don't. Listen. Y'all picked the wrong one this year. I'm gonna show you just how broke I am.
My focus is not ever really completely on money. And I'm not telling you not to be successful. Be successful in everything you do. What I'm saying is be happy. You know, focus on what fulfills you as a purpose. Because if you go through life and you never really do what you were meant to do, but you made a lot of money doing it, what have you really accomplished?
If you see people that continue to tell you that money don't mean nothing or money don't make you happy, just to beat you.
People always comparing themselves or trying to be something that they're not. Or
You will never catch me. You will never be better than me. And I'm gonna make sure of it because
money is gonna come with it. I promise, the success. And, you know, it's all relative. Don't focus on, you know, what somebody else is doing or what somebody else has. Don't compare yourself. One of the things that I see a lot in social media is people always comparing themselves or trying to be something that they're not. Or
I'm willing to work 25 hours a day, 7 days a week, just to beat you.
It's just important to have that work-life balance.
Do not respond the way that other people anticipate you responding. You can anticipate how they will respond, but you never move how they move. Ever. Ever. These niggas in real life is frauds. Nigga, who Corey done beat up? Corey would have got the shit beat out of me. I would have beat the shit out of Corey. And listen, I'm telling you, it is what it is.
All of this stuff is before Corey. This is like right after they had their argument and before Corey came back to respond to it. So in context, they had their little thing on the set of Corey 5150 show. Anton got the best of him on that. Anton left that show, went on a major blitz, posting every single day, just going crazy, went on different people's shows. And Corey, he was probably doing his comedy show because he probably had preemptive dates that he had to go do the show. He couldn't be on no podcast trying to respond to everything that Anton Daniels said. But he came back, and that's why he went so low. Because for him, that's, you know, hey, let's paint a picture of this guy. You know what I mean? That's how Corey looked at it. The reason why I brought this up is because you got three Anton Daniels here. You have this metrosexual Anton Daniel that's kind of a little feminine and stuff like that in his tone and his tonality. And I said nothing. I'm pretty sure that Anton Daniel agrees with it. This gentleman on the right, this Anton Daniels, you know what I mean? Where he's got this, I'm succeeding, I'm in tech, I'm getting paid a couple $100,000 a year, I'm making so much money, I'm out the hole that I was in, I'm out the financial crunch that I was in, and now I kind of see the best way that I need to I need to use my money, but at the same time, I need to be a little humane about it and kind of be, you know, I don't need to be an asshole anymore, but I want to be able to kind of say, you know what, money is not everything, but it's everything to him. It is absolutely, when he's not on the camera trying to be kumbaya, he's been a complete asshole in his life. And up to the point where he's got the couple 100,000. He could turn that couple 100,000 into the podcast, social media world, and turn that into the $100,000 a month to get him to where he doesn't really need his 9 to 5. He doesn't need the corporate job. He doesn't need the $200,000 to $300,000 because now he's got motion. Now he's got stuff going. Now he put his money into other things where it's self-sustaining him to not have to work for anybody but himself. But how did he get there? Aggressive, asshole. Before you get to that, you get his wife telling you about his psychosis because for some reason he thought it was a good idea to have his wife communicate his psychosis. Okay, so that's why you see this video.
The clip with his wife. This is the funniest shit.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. Times it can be hard and sad and difficult because Anton has a lot of different personalities, and so you have to be a certain type of woman to deal with. Anton is very emotional. He doesn't communicate effectively. I don't think that he has killed anybody before. I think he's capable of it. I've seen him angry before. He's just like a totally different person when he's angry. He's like,
See, why is she saying that? She's not gonna just go out of nowhere and say that about him. He's interviewing her for maybe his podcast world or whatever the hell he's doing it for. I don't know. I have no idea. But for some reason, he thinks that's a good or a valuable presentation to put out there about himself. That he's asking his wife, will Anton kill a person? Did Anton ever kill a person? No, I don't think he's killed a person, but he has it in him or something like that. Like, what? Why is your wife saying this stuff on a video that you're posting that millions of people can watch? Why are you doing that? He wouldn't allow that. He allowed it because that's him posing the question. That's him recording that. So in that situation, in that context, she's saying, well, he's got so many different personalities, and he's sometimes it can be scary and it's crazy and stuff like that, and it can be sad because he got so many personalities and blah blah blah. And it's like, what the hell? But for processing who's in front of you, who you're comparing yourself to, you need to understand, how did Anton Daniels get from whatever he was to where he is now? And he's a tyrant. He's a tyrant. But guess what? So was Steve Jobs. So was Jay-Z. So was Tupac. So was Denzel Washington. So was Morgan Freeman. So was Barack Obama. All these people came to a place in what they were doing, and they was willing to throw everybody in their life away if they got in the middle of it. You guys are insignificant if you get into my path to where I'm going. That's the difference between them and you. We always we're goal oriented, we're working, we're trying to do so much, but if our girlfriends or our wives or our family or somebody say something about, hey, you gotta, can you do this? Can you do this? And like, how about, do you think about this? Or what are you doing about this? And all this other stuff. We kind of transition ourselves to try to balance out everything and try to have some middle ground where everybody's somewhat happy with us. Or, civilized with us, where they ain't giving us more drama and they not added to the conflict and all that other stuff. So we try to do things to make sure everything runs smooth. But sometimes you need to shake everything the fuck up. Everything. If it's in your way, if it makes you weaker, if it stops you from being able to get over that hump, it is a problem, and it is the problem, and you must destroy it or cast it aside in order to go forward. A tyrant. So you're seeing him being, even in this, him with the gray hoodie on, even in him talking about that, this is after he kind of got over the hump. But what did he do to get over that hump, to get himself into a better place? He was aggressive. He was aggressive. Even if he decided to go back to school, in order to go back to school and work a job and then take care of your family, or minimize yourself enough that you go back to live at home until you get yourself and save up enough to empower yourself to move forward. Most people don't have that. Once they leave out of the house, once they go on their own, they own their own, and they never retract back. That's not his fault. That's your fault. That's your family fault. It's your background with issues you had, with understanding you had, that you could have went home and just linked on that or been at whatever. I don't know what everybody's situation is. Obviously, a lot of people are not raising their kids the same way. They're not backing their kids up the same way. They're not emoting their kids the same way. They're not giving them grandeur the same way. So some of the things are just so shifty. But I'm just saying, even in your adult years, when you can make the decisions, you got to know how really aggressive and how much of a tyrant you need to be in the progression of your life and the outcome of your life. We don't learn this stuff. They're not going to teach you this stuff in school. Everybody's going to try to be unifying and cordial and polite and passive and full of shit. But the real way you win and you get things done and you have dominance over anything that can happen to your life is, one, you have to understand that you can't have 100 people making 100 decisions. You got to have one person make a decision and everybody follow suit. I always say, may the best idea win, but everybody has to agree that they're allowing themselves to evaluate what is the best idea. And people have decided they're not doing that. My idea is great. Well, did you prove your idea is great? Did you go through the process? Did you vet your idea to make sure that it's the great idea? It's the best thing that we all should follow suit to. And everybody don't care. So that's why nobody's kind of following a path that's of value for everybody around. Because everybody want to be their own captain. They want to be their own leader. They want to be their own king, queen. They want to be their own ruler. And you've got everybody doing that. You got a bunch of people living in the same household, been in the same community, been in the same family, and they all sporadically going 100 different directions. So even when he's kind of been passive here and he's kind of articulated himself, he's got it. He's got pretty much how he's going to become the Anton. But you can see that more he's kind of working on himself, he's kind of turning into this very aggressive, dominating, and more non-shitty, bullshit person. I'm talking about to how he may bullshit his Patreon members, his viewers, but when he's running his house, when he's running his businesses, when he's running the back end of stuff, he's a tyrant. It works, and it will work. Okay?
Be successful in everything you do. But it's all relative. Don't focus on, what somebody else is doing or what somebody else has. Don't compare yourself. One of the things that I see a lot in social media is people always comparing themselves or trying to be something that they're not. Or
I'm willing to work 25 hours a day, 7 days a week, just to beat you.
And that's him going against that ideology of don't worry about everything you got. He's got shoes in the background and all that stuff. No. Materialistic stuff. I got a Rolex on. It's a $50,000 Rolex watch on. I got a Versace robe on. You get what I'm saying? He's telling you that materialistic stuff makes or break you. Your fight for materialistic stuff makes or break you. And if you're not fighting for grandiosis and grandeur, you'll lose. Because he's going for all of it.
It's just important to have that work-life balance.
Do not respond the way that other people anticipate you responding. You can anticipate how they will respond, but you never move how they move. Ever. Ever. These niggas in real life is frauds. Nigga, who Corey done beat up? To look at him a little bit crooked because it's a bold-faced lie and it's an excuse as to why they can't be whatever it is that they want to be.
Personally, I want to build a legacy. I can't do that if I'm 100% focused on money. Money don't mean anything. It's a means to take care of the things that you need to take care of, and it's not the measure by which I want to be evaluated in my lifetime. I want to be, I guess the point that I'm trying to make is it's just.
And this gentleman, LTTV, he's doing this, he's making these comparisons because the things that Anton is saying, he's not living it. He's kind of like saying, dude, all this rhetoric is good after you get it all. After you get it all. That's why I say, people are tyrants, and these successful people, I'm talking about all of them. The successful people are aggressive and they're very steadfast focused in after they get over the hump and they get into accomplishment, then they revert back to give a makeover to how they moved and making sure in the exterior world and to their persona that they're a little bit more kind and polite and stuff like that, because they got breathing room to be that way, but they got that vicious dog in them. And even when he's talking about this his ideal of you got to have a work-life balance, he's a dogmatic person inside. That's what his wife was telling you on the thing. That's the same time area or before. So in order for her to have that reference of him, she's telling you, I'm dealing with the real him. And the real him is aggressive. You know? I'm playing it again so you guys get reminded.
Play the clip with that mark ass nigga White. By the way, if I get under your skin, you know where I'm at, homie. You know where I'm at. Play the clip with his wife. This is the funniest shit.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. Times it can be hard and sad and difficult because Anton has a lot of different personalities, and so you have to be a certain type of woman to deal with. Anton is very emotional. He doesn't communicate effectively. I don't think that he has killed anybody before. I think he's capable of it. I've seen him angry before. He's just like a totally different person when he's angry. He blacks out.
He's a totally different person when he's angry. He blanks out. Okay, look, y'all. I'm not showing you that because I'm talking about Anton as a horrible person. I'm telling you that his blinking out, his split personality, his angriest stuff is him have to put his foot down and demand that his wife follow suit to what he wants. I don't want to debate it. I don't have a moral compass about it. You don't have a plan to how to make sure that we win. I do. So I don't want to hear about what you want to happen, how much you want your life to be, and everything, the things you want to do, and all the other stuff is not the time. This is what we on. That kind of situation in an aggressive matter in like months, in a year of time, that's a lot. That's a lot. But at the same time, if you follow suit, he doesn't have to worry about different disruptions in his personal life or in close proximity to him. He could just battle the enemy, the economic enemy, the enemy on the other side of the table in the negotiation, and the enemy in his money and how he moves his money and what he does with his money, and if it's the right decision at this right time or this bad decision, he don't have to worry about that it's the bad decision because other things are not going to intervene to make it a hard decision and an investment to make. I can make this investment and not have repercussions because stupid shit going on around me. So it's aggressive. And she's saying that. I'm not saying that however he was treating her or whatever he was doing was right. I'm just saying what we know for sure is he's a Tasmanian devil about what he wants and what he wants to do, that when it's perceived to the people around him, it was harsh. It was brutal. You get what I'm saying? He have his mother come online and talk about his solitude, the way that he is and how much solitude that he gets to himself. He pulls away and does whatever he do in his life and execute on whatever he do in his life. And a lot of the people, they don't get a lot of feedback from him. They don't got to get a lot of interaction from him because he got a mission, and all this other stuff is save it for Thanksgiving, save it for Christmas. That's how his brain is. Look at it. So when you see him talk about this work-life balance thing, that is the ideology that he has in comfort. That's an illogical point of view he has in comfort when the shit ain't on his back, when the heat ain't on his back, when the goals are not like accomplished yet. When he's talking like this is when goals are accomplished, when he got enough breathing room financially, when he's kind of giving some perspective of, oh, maybe I was a little bit horrible to my family and to my wife and everything. So we got to try to find a way to balance it and not be such an asshole to the goal. he's saying that after the after effect of winning. Okay, and that's why I'm playing this for you guys, so you can kind of get his foundation. What was the foundation, and kind of communicate that to you. So we don't need to keep watching a lot of this stuff. But what I want to go to now is take you through the timeline of. Remember the argument, and one of the things I wanted to kind of talk about was, let me go to this because there was a situation about the girl that was with him that Corey Holcomb kept bringing up. Okay, so remember the conversation.
Boy. Over 50 people. I put my money in my community with my people. So I choose to engage. So when we talking about being in the streets, that don't count to me. I don't
well,
hear
that's
that
what
shit.
should count.
I don't hear that
because
shit.
Out there in the streets where the people live that you helping, they could get pulled over and shot by a cop, and an investigation will.
And I went through this stuff with the cops killing black people and all this propaganda stuff that black people walk around and are high elites and stuff like that. Corey Holcomb is an elite. Anton Daniels is an elite. That's why I always tell people, like, hey, like, mainstream media is people like Steve Bannon. That's all he did. He lived in Washington, D.C. He mingled with people in New York and all in high society, and manipulated media and manipulated perspective of how politics and everything should go. He spent his whole life doing that. So when you see him after Donald Trump fires him in 2017 and he goes work for actual Epstein and tries to structure Epstein's, like, hey, write these in your notes, email this to yourself, say this in an interview, communicate this in a when you're talking to your assistant, say these things about Donald Trump so it can give you some cover, so it can kind of gives, because it dirty and muddy up his name as you try to make sure that the public don't think you like a sex trafficked person. Actually, Steve Bannon went into Epstein's life to give him this advice and get hired by him to be a consultant to repair his PR, to be a PR person for him, to repair the way that the society looked at him. And this is what they did behind scenes. And now this stuff is entrenched inside of the FBI records and stuff. How do you vindicate yourself on propaganda? A bunch of people saying, oh, we don't like that he's becoming president. And you got hundreds and thousands of women all deciding, saying, I don't give a shit about my life. I don't care about my dignity. I don't care about my principles. I don't care about my integrity. I'm just going to say crazy stuff about this guy. Oh, yeah, he was I met him before. Where did y'all ever go draw paths with each other? Oh, I don't got no proof of it, but I could just say it. It's wild stuff. But this is what I'm saying about the cop stuff, and Corey saying all this propaganda stuff, because it's repetition, ideological point of view that's so integrated into society that nobody's vetting it. Nobody's seeing how valid it is to the data and the statistics. And this is a really dramatic situation. What is the number one problem for Black Americans? It ain't none of this shit.
Be said, but here's the truth. We know, if I believe you know this already, when the cops shoot you, ain't nothing you can do about it.
All right, crew, we are going to bust some.
So tired of these damn commercials, but I ain't paying for another subscription.
This is so crazy.
Do you think that's wrong what I said?
This is so insane.
Is that what I said? I said when the cops shoot you, ain't nothing you can do about it. Is that a lie?
This is so insane.
But you didn't answer it. Like,
I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
I'm going to answer your question. It depends on the circumstance. And the interesting thing about it is this. The majority of the people, because You like to use a blanket statement. That's like me saying all black people are stupid.
Well, have you said all white people stupid?
No, I'm talking about cops.
You should say that one time.
I'm talking about.
He just told him that you like to use a blanket statement. So at that time, Corey should have thought of, okay, do I use blanket statements? And well, do you say white people? Do you say that white people are stupid? Like, dude, that's a blanket statement right there. You get what I'm saying? And he going for another blanket statement.
Because it's easy to say all black people are stupid as an example. Say something about the white people.
No. You're not.
I don't think you got
people all the time.
Oh, well, I didn't hear you. Can you tell me? Because I don't know.
About liberal white women literally being the biggest enemy of the United States of America. That's the thing I say every single day.
Caucasian female, the biggest enemy.
Literally, white liberal women are the worst thing that ever happened to this country.
What about their men?
But we gonna get there. Because you keep trying to get me to qualify it by participating and joining in on the court.
No, I think you're doing what's easy.
No. I'm doing what's real.
I think you don't want to go against them because if you go against them.
So crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure Corey Holcomb makes money off of white people. I'm sure he does.
I mean, to be some video of you going against them. And when I say them, I'm talking about your boss.
I don't have a boss.
We say that. But here's the truth.
I don't have a boss.
It's a reason you go after black males or black people quicker than you will go after white males. What are white males responsible for in this country as the downfall of it?
I'm an equal accountability smoke giver.
What are white people... And I haven't really and I don't really want to listen to all this. We're going to just kind of go to where the argument is so I can keep you guys in the timeline, and we're going to rush right through this stuff. What have white people did to the downfall of this country? That's just an idiotic question. It's an idiotic question. If I was to say what did white people do to the downfall of this country, I think it's the same thing that all men did, and we subverted a lot of control and a lot of power to women over the last 60, 70 years. We didn't know it. We didn't know that it wasn't a good thing to do. But now, with hindsight, even them, women are telling us we messed up and we made a major error by subverting so much of the ability, the outcome, and the actual duty of men to women. You get what I'm saying? So
I'm just saying, I ain't heard you talk about white men since you've been up here.
You ain't been listening. I've been listening to you.
No, you haven't. I hear you taking
you don't have the capacity to be able to listen because you're too busy.
No. You got me wrong.
You're too busy.
My capacity that you just criticized, that's an opinion. Here's the fact. Have you said something about Caucasian males and how they destroy this nation? Well, what did I miss?
Let's
how they destroyed this nation. How did they destroy this nation? You're saying that they destroyed this nation. How did they destroy the nation? Ridiculous.
Slow down, because you talking loud, but you're not saying a lot.
No, you talking loud, you talking loud, and you still talking around. What did the Caucasian male do to America to bring it down?
I'm not getting into that.
You dancing around it, and that's why I lose respect for you when you start dancing and kissing Caucasian males' ass.
But I don't.
Don't do.
Yes, and all this is coming from Corey watching something of Anton, not everything, to make sure that he's in context. Even if you see something that he does in a clip or a episode or whatever he watched that gives the context of this, he got to watch all his stuff in totality. He had to make sure that he vet Anton accurately to what he's watched so he can make sure that it's accurate data that he's communicating on. Don't say anything out your mouth if you don't know it to be full truth. So he has an ideology, a perspective that he have of Anton in his head, and he's just going off the cliff with it, with no context, no structure, no foundation for it, so that it's muddying their conversation and the definition and the purpose of their conversation.
Do that in front of me because I'm not an ass kisser of nobody.
Yes, you are. You suck the dick of black people right now. You doing the easy shit. What you do?
That look right there is so funny. You're like, what? What can you say to me? It is so funny. He got triggered right there. That's where he got triggered at. That's where he went off the cuff. That's where he fell off the train right there. Oh boy. Yeah, they gonna go good from here.
Let me tell you what you do.
Nah,
See, ain't
homie,
nobody
let me tell you something, homie.
Ain't nobody gonna tell you.
I don't
ain't nobody
suck
gonna
dick.
tell you to, yeah,
I don't
you do.
suck
Yeah,
dick.
you do.
So fix
you doing
that.
it right now.
I don't suck dick, homie.
You doing it right now.
Homie, believe me when I tell you. I don't
Believe me
do
when
that.
I tell you.
I don't do that.
Listen.
So don't come at me with no dick sucking shit.
I'm gonna give you the same
Let's
energy
switch
you
seats.
give me.
Let's switch seats.
Nope.
You
Homie,
better
I don't
move.
I don't do no dick sucking shit. I'm a motherfucking man. I don't do no dick sucking shit, homie.
I don't give a fuck about none of
Well,
that
I
shit
tell you
right
what.
now.
Watch that dick sucking shit, because that'll go bad.
Call it what you want.
I don't do no dick sucking,
You
homie.
say a lot of shit that I don't fuck with either. You think I
Okay,
give a
but
fuck about what you
that
talking about,
gay
nigga?
shit, oh, you
I
go.
don't give a fuck about what you talking
Hey,
about.
homie, I tell you what.
I'm right here.
Don't put
You
no
switching
dick
seats
sucking
don't mean
shit.
shit to me.
Don't put no
I'm from
dick sucking
Detroit,
shit on me, nigga.
I'm from Detroit
Say
right
I
now.
suck a dick again.
I'm right here, right now.
All right, that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna respect you.
Dance around it. Dance around it.
No. I'm gonna
I don't do no dick sucking shit.
I'm gonna respect you because it's your platform, and I flew out here to have a conversation.
We good.
But
We
you're not
good.
bossing up on me.
Yo,
We good. I did already. I don't do
Nigga,
dick
we can put
sucking
the
shit.
microphone right down
Yo.
right now and go on back. I don't give a fuck about this shit.
Homie, you just running your mouth.
I'm not running my
I
mouth.
got a
You
question
running
for
your mouth.
Anton.
I don't do
You
no
doing
dick
this shit
sucking
for the
shit.
internet. You doing it for the internet. Now, if you want to say your time, no, hold on. If you want
I'll
to say
show
Anton,
you I ain't doing it for the internet.
If you
I'm
want to
saying,
say Anton,
I'm saying,
listen, don't
I'm gonna
disrespect
let
me
you
like
finish.
that. If you want to say Anton, don't disrespect me like that, I'll respect you. But don't boss up on me because you said a lot of shit to me today that I don't fuck with either. But I let that shit ride because you don't know me. You don't know me. So I'm gonna extend the same respect to you. You called me out of my name. You said some wild shit, especially with regard to how
Would
it
it call this nigga out his name?
Nigga, I'm telling you that you did. You can't tell me how I get disrespected.
I got a question for bro.
Okay.
No. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. We just getting loud. I ain't gonna get loud.
Then don't switch seats.
No,
This
this my show. This my show.
That's cool, but I take that shit as a threat.
Okay, well, it is a threat if you calling me dick sucking. I don't dick suck, my nigga.
Man, fuck what you talking about.
I don't
bro.
dick suck.
If you want to get back to the conversation, because you ain't gonna do shit. Because you're not gonna do shit.
Come at me with that dick sucking
You're
shit
not gonna
again,
do
nigga.
shit. You're not gonna
Come
do
at me with. Say I suck dick again, nigga.
We can go
I'll
out back
show you
right
who
now.
the fuck I am.
We can go out back right now. I'm with it.
I bet you won't say that shit.
We can go out back right now.
I got money for all this. Whatever.
I got money too. Don't nobody give a fuck about that shit.
Hey, homie,
Nah,
look,
it's just not respect.
I ain't falling for that. I ain't falling. Dolly, get out the way. Don't get in the way of two niggas. Let me tell you something, homie. I ain't got to go out back.
He's so funny with his pop belly and his janitor keys and stuff. The reason why I'm letting you guys see that because you gotta have it in context. You gotta have it in context, okay? So
right now, because we got.
obviously they kind of sat down and kept talking to each other, and I see where where I'm sure both parties was willing to fight. If when he put that microphone down, and if Anton Daniels was ballsy and ridiculous and like totally decide to lose control of the situation and call and say, "Hey man, you suck dick," when he told him, "Hey, say that dick sucking stuff again," and if he said, "Well, you suck dick," he would have hit him. He had no choice but to do it. I seen it. I seen his posture. I seen his focus. He knew he would have had to hit him. You get what I'm saying? Anton seen it as like, okay, once he put the phone down, it was in a situation where he had to disarm him. And by Anton getting up, even if he decided to walk with him outside, Anton would have took the fight outside. He would have took it outside. Anton decided that he don't want to hurt his money and his money. He's calculating that when he got up. And he said, okay, let's take this off the camera so we won't lose our money, but we can still have the fight outside. But obviously, it was a chance and a high probability chance that Corey wasn't going to end the show and go outside because that disarmed him when Anton stood up and said, let's go outside. It disarmed actual Corey from his posture. So it's on both parties, they were willing to fight, but under different conditions. So I wanted to show you that so you can see the context of how it was, okay? and then one of the things I wanted to bring up was this part right here.
Ladies, since we talking about this, see, whenever I see a woman with a man, most of the time, if it ain't your wife, I already say to myself, what is this fuck shit? Why is this motherfucker in the streets with you? That's how I feel about life. So I'm saying like.
So I think that he's looking at Mika, because she's looking at Mika too. And he looked over to her as over at the table. So that's what he's talking about. Now, yes, it's not his place to kind of wonder why Mika hanging around with Anton. But if Anton is touting about his marriage life and he don't cheat and he's the best Christian in the world and everybody should model themselves after him as a Christian, and he's doing this shallow, hot women look where he flying Mika out to represent him in very scenarios where he wants people to see that he got powerful and good looking arm candy with him and stuff like that. That puts you into the lust and shallowness situation where you're not the purest of people. You know what I mean? So he's kind of asking, okay, what the hell is going on here? And then he's hearing from probably other people that she said that she's, hey man, I think she said she's married. She's not with him. Well, why is his wife letting her run around different cities with this guy then? What's wrong with her husband? That's how Corey is seeing. So he brought it up in this conversation. So that's why it's such a, and then when Mika decides to put her opinion in it, that was a whole nother situation. So that's why I want to put this into context. I want to like let you guys hear that point, because I think it got lost in the shuffle of their argument.
Change this man's mind on stuff, so I just don't even bother. That's it.
But another thing about the ladies, since we talking about this, see, whenever I see a woman with a man, most of the time, if it ain't your wife, I already say to myself, what is this fuck shit? Why is this motherfucker in the streets with you? That's how I feel about life. So I'm saying like, that might be a prejudice that I have.
And that he admits that it's a prejudice that he have. Why do he have that prejudice? Because his thought process is, I'm busting my ass talking every day on 5150 about the dynamics of and the destruction between men and women. How women just out here for the goal of what they want and what the outcome they want, and they're shallow and they're vapid people. And we gotta try to find a good one out of the midst of all this. That's how he's seeing it, and that's what his articulation is to men. So when he sees the example of it with Anton and this girl and Mika, he like, holy shit, man! You got this nice lady. She's a good-looking lady. Obviously, it's easy for her to get a man, but she running around town with you. But this ain't your wife. Oh, you ain't banging her, or you're like, or your wife knows about this, and you got a wife. Why are you out here with her in the street? Why is she out here? Why is she out? Why are you mingling with her? You get what I'm saying? So to him, he's looking at Mika as an opportunist. And you got a husband, and your husband is a high provider, and you still trying to get an opportunity into the social media personality influencer world, and you're willing to be disrespectful to your marriage in order to do that. That's what's going on in his thought process. That's why he said, what's this fuck shit? Because it is. If you were to take yourself out the equation, take away like, okay, she's anti-side piece, and why you ratting on him? Take out of that situation and look at the context of two human beings for the outcome that they want. The outcome ain't clean. The outcome is terrible. Outcome is salacious. Outcome is vile. But that's the world we live in. Our goals are very selfish and how can I say, is very shallow. So be it, but let's actually put it out there that that's what it is. Let's not hide around it. Let's not curve around it. But listen to the conversation that they're having, and I won't interrupt it again.
Most of the time, if it ain't your wife, I already say to myself, what is this fuck shit? Why is this motherfucker in the streets with you? That's how I feel about life. So I'm saying, like, that might be a prejudice that I have. I can admit, if a woman is in the streets with a man, fuck is this?
Why? Why do you care about that? Why is that meaningful to you?
No, it's not.
And this is Anton doing his, he could go have a good time with it and everything like that, but I just need you to fuck you, and let's just put it to what it is. His thing is, like, well, I can have a bunch of girls, you know, if they not married, because he believes, like, if a woman is not married, then she's single. Even if she got a man, she's still single if she's not married. She don't technically belong to anybody until you marry her. So he gets to come in and mess with them. He don't even have to bang them. He just could showcase them and do whatever he wants. Now, I agree. If you got what they want and what they actually will put their time and their energy and put their actual self up for, if they want to go to a ball game or drive in a nice car or be in a nice environment and all that other stuff, and you got that fee to give to them, then they're up for grabs. And he's right. I don't have a problem with Anton looking at it like that. But I'm just telling you, in his head, he's saying, well, why is that concerning you? He's like, well, dude, we got we're going down the rabbit hole already. Women are like, there's more women with kids than men, meaning that if a man claims a kid, it's his. And if a woman got more kids than the man has that belongs to her and she's single, then that means that she had it from multiple different men. And if that's the situation, we already down the rabbit hole of disruption and chaos and things that don't match up, and it's not going to be good for psychological for the kid and for the woman and her thought process of sharing herself with so many people and all the other stuff. We're down the rabbit hole. So if we're going to have an articulation about relationships and everything like that, we got to stop this shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, why is the girl with you if you're married and you're saying that you are a good Christian and you don't step out on your woman, but you use women for shallowness and propaganda to walk into a room and do business deals and have a good looking woman, and I gotta have I'm not saying that she's a better looking woman than my wife, but she is better looking than my wife because I want to have her out here. I want to have her on the side. Like, no, you need to be out here with your wife, dude. What are you doing? So it's muddy in it. And when you get in a player, I got money type of situation, it muddies everything, and you'll do whatever the opportunity is, you'll do the opportunity. There's nothing wrong with that. Just state that this is what it is. Don't try to make it seem like it's more innocent than it is. It's vile. It's horrible. It's a shallowness. It's a brutality of the relationships between the genders. And I'm okay with it. That's the playing field. You gotta play on the battlefield. You don't make the rules for the battlefield. It's the rules. It's just the battlefield.
That I care at all, because it's not my business. But I'm saying, like, if a man stepped to me with a woman and it ain't his wife, all I do is say to myself,
you mean like checking you?
Not checking me, brother. I'm saying, like, if a man has a woman with him,
okay,
and you know what I'm saying, it's not his wife, I don't know what the fuck that is, and I don't want nothing to do with it. That's all across the board as I've gotten older and wiser. Like, if a man got a woman with him and he say, hey, hold on, man, how you doing? This is my lady, so-and-so, so-and-so. It makes me say, okay, this is his lady. That's what that is. But I'm saying, like, if a man is in the streets with a woman, sitting next to a woman, and all like this, whatever, and this bitch ain't been explained, I'm like, hold on. What the fuck is this sucker shit? Especially if it's imposed in any way. That's what I'm saying, G. And I know you know what I'm talking about because you ain't finna act like you ain't smart. You smart than a motherfucker.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, if somebody,
Wow.
And this is Anton being crazy. He knows what he's doing with Mika is just ridiculous. And it's just silly stuff. You get what I'm saying? It is player stuff. But he's kind of want people to kind of mind fuck themselves that they don't know what they're talking about. And it's like, okay, dude, why you here with this girl? And now that with hindsight, I know that he's saying it like this because he don't want to admit that he brought her there for armed candy. And at this time, he's getting put on the spot about showcasing her and not telling them why she was there. But she thinks he did tell them. Let me go to Mika's situation, okay? It's a girl that Anton brought to this actual taping. She's on the other side of the table. And when Corey walks in and the producers and everybody walked in, they didn't know who this girl was and why she was there with Anton. But Anton told her 2 weeks prior before this actual taping that she was coming to be on the show with him on the 5150 show. So she was excited about that. But by the time Corey got there, he like, hey, man, I'm not going to just add a girl to the show that I got nothing to do with. I don't know who she is. And if you ever watch any of my shows, I don't just bring people in here for just random motherfuckers just to jump onto the show. So he's acting stupid because he know he set Mika up for disappointment. So I'll go to Mika's communication on that. Here we go.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and we're back for another Red Cup Talks because this is where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. And today is Monday, MLK Day, and happy Monday. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Thank you all for coming on a holiday. I know you can have a ton of things to do, but we're here. So thank you to everybody in the chat that's pulling up. Thank you to everybody that will watch this on the replay. And thank you to everybody per usual. All right. Now, I know you guys haven't seen me for the last, I want to say 4 days. And when I tell you I have been jet lagged, I've been jet lagged. I had a very nice weekend. I hope you had a great weekend. And we are going to get into a lot. We're going to talk about Don Lemon today. We're going to talk about the new Black Panther Party, the other Black Panther Party, the Nationalists, but I don't know. They got a bunch of different sets, okay? However, we're going to talk about that. And we're going to get into also a lot of the nonsense that's happening out in Minnesota, plus more. All right? So you guys, thank you so much for joining me for that. Now, of course, let's go ahead and get into it. But before we start the show, I want to go ahead and address the whole Corey Holcomb situation. All right? The whole Corey Holcomb incident. Now, 2 weeks ago, I was told that I was going to go on the 5150 show. And I was excited. All right.
2 weeks ago, she was told that she was going on the 5150 show with Anton Daniels. He told her that. So when you hear Corey saying, who's this girl? And if she's not your wife, why she's here? He's talking about this. So obviously, Anton was playing the game with her. He was hyping her head up and everything like that. And he really didn't set it up. He thought he would just be so, his stature was so important that he would just be able to walk her in and put her on the show and not go over it with the producers and Corey. So let's go.
I was excited about going on the 5150 show. Last Tuesday, I got on the plane to go from DC to LA. I got to the 5150 studios at about 8 p.m. Pacific time. I met Corey Holcomb. I was introduced to him. He shook my hand. Then about, I want to say 5 minutes before the actual show started, I was told I can't go on the show. I said, okay, cool.
Disappointed, but whatever happened, she knows she's rolling her eyes about it, so she's pretty pissed about it.
Then I was told that I could sit on the set, but I have to sit off camera.
She had to sit off camera, just in case you didn't hear it clear.
I said, okay, cool. And that's where I sat for the entire duration of the show.
So she's on the other side of the table while they're arguing and doing all that crazy stuff. So it brings you the context of what's going on.
Now, the show starts. And as you know, what happened, because it went viral. All right. So if you guys want to see all of that, you can go watch it. It's everywhere. All right. But with all that being said, as that's going on, when it becomes abundantly clear that it's time to go, myself and security go ahead and start to leave. When I get to the door, as I'm going out, I hear Corey Holcomb say, yeah, leave with your security and your bitch.
Yep. That's exactly what he said. So let's go back to it, and I'll let them kind of play this out.
Somebody introduces you. If somebody took the time,
I don't know what he's talking about.
If somebody actually walks in and takes the time to introduce you to somebody, that's being imposed on. I'm like, uh-oh.
There's people in the chat say, what is Corey talking about? All the uninitiated don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm like,
uninitiated.
Don't introduce me to, especially if I know that person.
That's how I believe that.
This is what I know. This is what I am. I admit that I am a C student.
In what?
In life. And everything.
Okay.
In school and everything. I'm a C student. So the way I like to do it is, I like for people to break it down to me like a C student. Help me to understand like I'm barely graduating. Break it down to me like a little child. The way that you would talk to a child, talk to me.
Right.
That's why I like to do it.
And see, and now I get why he was playing dumb like that, because he know that he disappointed Mika by setting her up, bringing her there, knowing that he didn't set her up to be on the show or acknowledge that she was going to be on the show to Corey Holcomb and his producers and stuff like that. So he's playing this game to kind of say, oh, I know what you're talking about, but I don't want to admit none of this stuff because I got to deal with Mika when I get out of here because she couldn't be on the show and all the other stuff. So now I get that why he was acting dumb like that. You get what I'm saying? So
And it's easier for me to digest it.
I like that you said that, but see, I'm at a stage of the game. I ain't got time to talk to kids.
Right.
Why not?
I don't got time to talk to kids.
Because you playing games, dude. You acting like a child. You know what's up. You know what you're doing. You know what's going on. Why you playing mind games? But now I understand, because of his luxury, because of the money he got, because of the stature he got, because of the dominance he has over people, because of the money that he has, he's got this metrosexual kind of feminist way of talking and interacting with people. Why are you so offended? Why are you so triggered? These are things that women say, you know what I mean? In addition to like, what else the other thing you say? Vibrational. Like, oh, why are you people having these vibrational conversations? Why isn't it the low IQ low vibrational conversation? That's a woman's phrasing, the feminist phrasing. And that's how Anton speaks. And if you hear him, he's got a lot of vocabulary that's in the feminist movement, and how women belittle men and try to size up men for their inadequacy to lead up to the women's expectation in the modern world where most women get administrative job, and that's where the money is at.
My kids grown. And I'm saying, like, if they asked me to go to school and speak to the children, I would tell the children to do what's right. Because I know that's what they're supposed to do. I'll be like, listen, do what's right. Whenever you get that feeling like you're doing something wrong, then, step back, and do what's right. That's what I
Yeah,
would tell kids.
absolutely.
That way I would be able to
No,
speak
no,
from the heart.
So
Not
you're one of
going
those
for
do
it.
what I say, not what I
No.
do?
Let me
said
tell
do what's
let me-
right.
Let me tell you what my translation
what
of
I
that
do.
is. This is my translation of that. I don't want to substantiate my argument, or I don't want to break it down to where you'll actually understand it, because you may be able to break down what it is that I'm saying. So I choose to only speak in riddles, and I also want to speak in parables, because then I could say, well, if you don't know, you don't know, you don't get it. Now, I might get it. I might know exactly what you're talking about, but I might act like I don't know what you're talking about because I want you to substantiate your argument. So that's what I stand on.
But
that's why I say break it.
But his thing is like, why? Like, so you want me to say, why you bring this girl here? Why you bring her here? What the fuck is she doing here? And I got to go into some long diatribe about you wanting to introduce her and all that other stuff and give validation to me to put her on camera afterwards. And I don't want her on camera. That's the game that Anton's playing.
Down to me like a C student, so that I can truly understand exactly what you're talking about, so that we all can understand it, because we all may need to learn something.
Right. So
That's
look,
what
what
the
you
OGs
said.
do. They
Get it or
teach,
not.
right?
Right,
You said
whether
you
get it or
go,
not.
but what you said in there, that was a key word. You act like you don't know, and I know
Right.
you act like you don't know, brother.
Absolutely.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You just said it. Believe me,
Why
you
is
said it.
Phil laughing?
Phil silly.
Oh,
He's
Phil
silly.
out. Look,
Philly
you know
tried
what?
to look. It was an intense moment in here, and
Yeah, and you got to watch the previous episode, because they're going to go back in and then they're going to get into another fight and Anton's going to leave and all the other stuff. But I wanted you to get the context of what Anton was doing on the show, okay?
And I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked.
Okay. I guess I do got to play it where he told him to get out the thing. So, let me see. I can't play all that. So, yeah, let's go back to this.
Caucasian males.
Shout out to
and
the
he ain't
chat.
shit on
I'm
himself.
not gonna shit on nobody.
Yeah,
Shout
you
out to
shitted
the
on
chat.
black people. You shitted on motherfuckers.
I feel like I shitted on you. To
Well,
your
be careful.
face. To
Be
your
careful.
face.
Be
Shout out-
careful
shout-
shitting on me, because
shout
I
out
feel
to
like
the
you
chat.
talking shit again.
I'm not talking shit. I'm
well,
telling
be
you.
careful.
I'm telling you.
You
that-
shitted on me to my face, but that shit will
Corey,
lead to some
would
danger.
Will we please stop the
Trust me.
The tough talk. I got security. You got security. Ain't
Homie,
nobody
I
doing
ain't got
shit.
security. Them my people.
Cool. Them your
You
security
gotta
people.
hire a motherfucker to be with you.
Absolutely. I'm always gonna hire somebody.
You better.
100%.
How you be talking?
Corey, stop talking tough. Stop talking.
Homie,
tough.
you
just said that.
I'm
you're
not
even
talking tough.
guy.
I'm talking to you straight up.
Why are you so?
You
easily
said you
triggered?
disrespected me in my face.
Why you so easily trigger feminist stuff? And it's I don't think he means to like talk like a woman. I just think when he reviews a lot of women banter, it cuts men off. Men don't know how to interact with that. That's why women they get mouthy with that stuff, because men be like, okay, what? Why are you so triggered? Why you so sensitive? And blah 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 blah. And it's just like it's disarming to a man, because he is frustrated. That's why he's speaking like that. And it's not, I don't even think that Anton even know that he put it part of his vernacular now. These women trigger, or these cut off, how women speak that cut off men's progress to communicate.
And then you act like it was all
said that I
good.
disrespected you to your face. So I'm confirming what you said. You felt disrespected. So I am telling you that I disrespected you if that's the way you felt. Is that not what you said? You said that out of your mouth. And so I apologized when you said that you felt disrespected.
No. The reason you said you
But you still
disrespected me
triggered
in
by
my
it
face
because you don't accept the
Trigger by it. That's crazy. For a man to speak to another man saying trigger. That's crazy.
apology because
You
you
still talk
feel
about
some type of
everybody
way.
else except yourself and
No,
white men.
I'm telling you what I said. You felt offended by it, so I apologize. All I'm doing is rehashing a conversation that happened. Why you so easily offended?
Why are you so easily offended? Such a feminist woman way of communicating. Like crazy.
You still talk about me? It sounds like I'm arguing with
because
It is. And I know he said this because I already watched this 100 times and we already seen it. But it is. As I'm looking at it and stopping it right when it's an actual way a woman speaking, y'all know it. Y'all know it. Men, you watching this, you know this is women speak. This is woman speak, man. These are feminine ways of communicating. So he was 100% right when he said, man, I feel like I'm talking to a bitch.
I'm right. See, I'll be around bitches and they tell me about myself all the time. Be gone.
No.
That shit don't hurt no feelings. It's probably better this way.
Because I just proved my point.
Be down. So you proved the point.
You're hypocritical.
You're hypocritical. You're hypocritical. That stuff, that's such a feminist way of speaking. But the winners of society right now are metrosexual guys. I'm telling you, the metrosexual way of posturing of a man's position and his posture and tonality and all that is very metrosexual. Metrosexual is not a gay person. It's just a men with passive feminine communication, psychological communication, where you say a lot of psychological terms, psychiatrist terms and stuff like that. That's metrosexual stuff. When man like grooms himself very princey and stuff like that and everything like that, making sure he got manicure and it's trimmed and it coloring himself, beard and all that stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's Anton. I'm just saying he got how he's conducting himself is very metrosexual. And it's got some of those tendencies in him. But trust me, it's a lot of the people we look up to. Brad Pitt carries himself kind of metrosexual ways. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of different other people. And that's the way. And it's to keep us from looking all scruffy and messy like Corey look. You know what I mean? He just looks like a shaggy dog. You know what I mean? So if you get yourself more groomed, you're more appealing to women and stuff like that.
Homie, just gone, man.
You
just gone, man. You gone.
I'm out the jet.
You done did this before.
He's
Get your
hypocritical.
bitch ass to... Hey, homie.
All right, I'm out.
Get your bitch ass the fuck on. And walk over there with your bodyguard and your bitch, nigga. Walk over there with your bodyguard and your bitch.
You proved my point.
I got shit to do.
You're right.
Don't bring bitches up here, dog, that you ain't finna stand on. Remember I told you that. If you got a bitch with you, explain the bitch. Don't ask her to be on my show, nigga.
So now you get the context of what Mika said. Oh my God, I was so shocked and so floored. Nah, you're the man's world.
Lie.
What are you doing there?
I was shocked. Lie. And start to leave. When I get to the door, as I'm going out, I hear Corey Holcomb say, yeah, leave with your security and your bitch. And I'm not going to lie. I was shocked. Because it's very unfortunate that I would be called the B word. Because I had such a positive outlook and a positive take on 5150 and Corey Holcomb. Last year here in DC, I literally went to a Corey Holcomb show. So when I found out I was going on 5150, I was like, oh, this is exciting because I just went to see a show.
Yeah, but he ain't tell you. He ain't tell. But look, I'll let her play this. Look. She was set up, and now she was there to just be arm candy for Anton. That's how Anton wanted her to be. You get what I'm saying? We'll play the tape on that too.
And now I'm having this experience. So it was very unfortunate. Not only that, I hear explain the bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And this bitch on my show. I don't know who she is.
Yep.
Alluding to the fact that I'm just here and it's somebody's side chick.
She said, alluding to the fact that I'm just here as somebody's side chick. Alluding to the fact, meaning that if he doesn't know who I am, if he don't know why I'm here and who I am, that means the reason why you wanted me here was for me to look good and look like some kind of woman that's appeasing your ego or what your position is and what you want me for. I'm here as some side chick or some women that you can. I'm here as a woman that you wanted guys to think, oh, this is one of my bitches. So now she wants to she decides to come on her show and clarifies it. And she hasn't been on the show in 2 weeks since this. So they got problems in the background.
And it's somebody's side chick. And I'm nobody's side chick.
But you was okay with playing this under the Anton Daniels podcast, AntonDaniels.com umbrella. On all the shows, Mika always comes in. He flirts with her. They have these innuendo conversations and stuff, and it's like she gives off the persona like she his side piece. That's the joke, the underlying conversation that they have on the actual platform. So for her to act all shocked because she didn't want it to spill over into the industry, that's your fault. You put that premise out there, and you were okay with it.
So it was very unfortunate and very hurtful. That I can tell you. That was my feeling from the experience. But with all that being said, I can say this. I still don't have anything negative to put out about Corey Holcomb or the 5150 show. I went for a positive experience. I had a positive outlook on what could have been, but it didn't happen. And again, it's unfortunate that all that transpired afterwards. And I was caught in the crossfire between two grown people that were arguing back and forth with each other. So my outlook is this. I don't have any negative views on Corey.
He was saying some stuff, wasn't he? Leave with your security and your bitch. And after that, this is what she got to say. Oh, I don't got no problem with Corey Holcomb. It ain't your fault, Corey, that you didn't know nothing about me, but you was just like, why this bitch is here. I understand it. And if she's a fan of Corey, when she go into the show, she kind of understand how men think and how to, like, what our personalities in and how we look at women and everything. And you need to have some respect to yourself. And if you don't have no respect for yourself, then we don't have no respect for you. So she says she understands it.
And like I said, it's unfortunate, but I forgive Corey. I truly do.
That's wild.
But that was my experience. And I wish nothing but the best for Corey and the 5150 show.
That's wild, boy.
I just wanted.
And Anton says that he's got Mika signed to him and he's managing her. He put money behind her to boost her career and stuff. So for her to say that is crossing the line because he got a problem with Corey.
To come on and really say my piece because I really hadn't said anything.
And this is like the Monday after that Tuesday. So it's literally like 6 days after the show that they got into it.
Because everybody else was talking.
Everybody else's Anton was talking. So obviously they got into some kind of major beef about this speech or notation that she wanted to give on her show. And Anton hasn't had her on his platform since then. Like since she did this show. She's been, I don't know, it's like a couple weeks or so. She hasn't been on the platform.
So I wanted you guys to hear it from me. So that was my experience. That's all that really happened because it was a small time frame. So any other narrative is not what it was. This is exactly what happened.
So now she want to wear that fat ring and be somebody's wife, which she should have always been. You get what I'm saying? You should never be like, I don't care how much viewers you can get off of people thinking that they can get you or something like that. It's not worth it to use that persona, especially if you're married, because you don't want to be out here like representing your man as if you're somebody else's arm candy or shallow propaganda and stuff like that. But this is what I mean by Anton. He's kind of, this is women like this. He got it all over his panel, And the major women that's actually falling into who he hires for his panel, they got to fit a criteria, and he got a lot of this. So he's a very shallow person, and none of these women look like his daughter or his wife. None of these women. You know what I'm saying? So in that situation, he's even going for a presentation or a look or some features that are kind of that are against what he's touting that's special to him. So that's what I'm saying. When you put yourself on Front Street like this, when you put your family out there, when you put your life out there, when you put yourself out there, now you get evaluated. And it's freedom of speech for somebody to get evaluated. And if the court proceedings can be used against Corey for bringing it up, then that's a wrong use of the court proceedings. That's an illegal act. And it sucks because Corey had to fight it all the way up to the Supreme Court in order to get it properly ruled that freedom of speech falls under how he communicated whatever he said about his wife and his daughter. And we're going to go back into that. But right after that clip that I showed you guys in the beginning of the show, the first clip, that's right. That was 2 days after the show that they got into an argument with. So it's before the Mika, but I wanted to play that in context together. But when he's talking about all this crazy shit about I Choose You tour, that's all a couple of days after the speech. So he had a whole week to talk shit like that.
I Choose You Too tour. I chose Corey. And so we shout out to the Hodge twins.
So I choose you too, Corey, meaning that I chose you to make a fool of you and to take from you and to embarrass you and to like make an example of you that you ain't me, that you ain't like the bag chaser. You ain't no money guy like me, and you don't got the luxuries of me, and you don't live like me, and you don't got the freedom like me, and you don't have options with women and women to kind of do what they want you to do like me. Which Corey said it's because they trying to attach themselves to your money. That they playing the games like that. Now you don't know what Corey is doing because Corey not putting it on camera. It's not part of him to put his interaction with women all on camera. You get what I'm saying? But for Anton to show his status and his place in the world as a man with women, he showcases it. And it comes to situations like this. It's the payoff.
We're going to continue the tour and we're going to get it popping. All right. What's going on, y'all? Pre-fade and post-fade juice. Oh, I know you ain't going to let an internet nigga troll you, Corey. Jesus Christ, bro. I'm going to make $1 million off of you, bro. I'm going to make $1 million off of Corey alone because I know the money game. Corey broke.
Keep that in mind, y'all. He was saying, I know you ain't going to let an internet nigga troll you. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's touting and he's spitting out there to Corey. And obviously Corey on stage and he's doing his comedy stuff. So he ain't got time to respond back to him. But he's responded back to him about his family. This is before he responded about his family, all this stuff up. And he went, and I'm telling you, Anton went on to a ton of people's shows, different major podcaster shows, and talking all this wild stuff. And I haven't listened to it. This is my first time listening to it. But that's like, I hope you ain't gonna let an internet nigga troll you. That's wild for you to say that. Troll you? He responded with a hell of a troll, didn't he? And you all, I'm in shambles. I'm in shambles. But that's him responding to your trolling. He trolling you.
A lot of people don't even really know that. Corey's struggling. Corey's struggling like a motherfucker. He had already alienated his friends. He don't really have no motion on his own. And so a lot of what he got to do, he got to hit the road. I could stay at home and be calm and cool and collected. Corey got to hit the road. Man, listen, man, these niggas is tapped. These niggas is tapped. These niggas is tapped.
Yeah, because Corey probably do it the old way. And that old way of business and media and entertainment and how having the bag and stuff, that stuff don't work in modern time. So you need to be like Anton, where it's like you got residual cash flow just piling up in real estate and other stuff just turning money for you. And if like all these, most of the time, probably the comedians and musicians, they're not doing that. And they just eating off the money they already made.
Anyways, y'all said Anton stop talking shit. Well, that's what he was doing when I walked out. He was still talking. Nigga took me off the thumbnail, untagged me on Instagram like a scorned girlfriend. That's what he doing. He was talking big shit. He only had one nigga with him. Well, then that mean you should have bust a move in, nigga. If I only had one person with me, because y'all gotta remember, see what y'all don't know is that he had a room full of people. He had a room full of people, and I still stood tall, 10 toes, right in front of me in his backyard. I'm not really sure what y'all looked at. He had home court advantage. He had a bunch of people in there. And I had a girl and one person for security. That's it. And here's the other part of it that y'all don't know, because a lot of people like to say, oh, he had armed security. His people were strapped. His people was strapped. He had a security guard over there with the face mask on, all black with the mask, and they had the pistol. And his people was strapped over there too. I ain't gonna name the other person. They were strapped. So y'all keep trying to make it seem like, oh man, Anton had security. I had one dude because I had one chick with me, and his people were strapped, and he was right there. So if we gonna have a conversation, if we gonna really, really get to it, there was no excuse. There's no reason and no excuse. No, I'm not saying it's supposed to be a shootout. What I'm saying is people are trying to make it seem like because I had.
He's reading the chat and all that stuff, and I guess I'm glad it went the way it went, where they didn't fight each other and do no stupid stuff like that. Because it's, it's just the break right now, and I think the future is the shallow level up culture like Anton Daniels and all that black and white, like male, female, patriarch, and that's old stuff. We're every man for themselves society now. Like I told you, it's not pretty, and you can't really change it either because you can't heal it. It's just the way it is. So the best you're gonna be able to do, I'm telling this to the majority of Americans, live your life, try to get as much as you can out of your life. And economically, you got to try to put yourself in a $300 to $600 a day economic system. You got to make $37 to $75 an hour, $300 to $600 a day. If you can kind of put yourself financially in that situation, you'll somewhat be able to move decently through life and circumstances and stuff that might hit you guys. That's realistically, that's what society looks now. And that's what the economic pitfalls and all the kind of situations, the corruptions and all that stuff, the politicians and the liberalism and the over destabilization of illegal immigration. That's how you're going to counteract it. You got to have $300 to $600 a day, $37 to $75 an hour.
Security there with me, that changed the dynamics of how we interacted or my motion towards him. No, I was exactly the way that I was with him because that's the way that I felt about him. This don't have nothing to do with that. Nobody is talking about acting tough or none of that, but people keep trying to paint this narrative like that changed something because I was trying to move over or trying to do something. Nigga, no, it was all the same. Nothing changed. It was still the same. And so stop making excuses for this big ass nigga. Stop making excuses for his big ass nigga. And I heard you, Craig.
And this is the Millionaire Morning Show. It's supposed to be like a morning show. But the in show and all that stuff, like the N word and all that stuff, don't tell me that you got to be pretty with this stuff. You don't. Don't tell me you got to be finesse with it and very corporate with it and very like presentable and like passive with it. When one of the highest rated internet shows or a show that got a lot of major people supporting the show and everything like that, and major views, you're doing 30 to 40 view each recording, doing that kind of stuff, and he's doing it 5 to 6 times a day. Don't tell me it's got to be pretty, because he's using the N-word. He's been very verbose with it. No, this is the way to do it. This is the winning path.
Shout out to the B side. I heard your reaction to the whole thing, that you parked there, you jumped the fence, and all of this other shit, right? I heard about all of that shit. And then I also heard your friends, like, because I you know what I listen to? I listen to everybody. So I was listening to Glasses Malone podcast, right? A lot of people don't know Glasses Malone. Glasses Malone, former rapper, dude out there in LA. Shout out to Glasses Malone. I actually like his platform and his podcast. And I was listening to Glasses Malone, but first I listened to Craig's reaction, and then I listened to Glasses Malone. And what I realized is that the only reason that Craig had the energy that he had is because he had people in the group chat that was putting the battery in his back to go over there and defend his boss. Craig, his people. Y'all don't believe me. Hold on, because I listen to him.
Guess he's pulling up the show. Yeah, I don't know who Glasses Malone is. It's a lot of podcasts and I don't know. I'm finding that out right now. Don't really know all these people.
It's a term of bitch nigga shit.
What?
Crash out of emotion. There's no. It's not about your people. Rise them.
Thinking Glasses Malone's show is gonna look pretty decent. This look crazy. It look like a studio that's supposed to be doing music in, and there's a bunch of people with a camera set up. It's ridiculous. It look ridiculous. Well, I tell you.
Respect.
You think Anton? You do.
Hey, that was gonna be my point right there. Corey kind of J. Cole this situation like that, and
yeah, and I just a coward. If he disciplined that man,
I noticed that with a lot of people, like a wide swath of people. That's
no, Corey did not do right. If y'all think that's the thing, let me tell y'all something.
Yeah, he shouldn't.
No, you do not.
So now, that's what he said though. He said the reason why he didn't do it. He said the reason why he didn't do it was because if he would have jumped on his ass They had fucking rumbled and hit the fucking screen they spent fucking so much money on, which was the set. You know what I'm saying? That
No.
People who communicate different, probably disrespect.
You gotta stop.
They kind of
these one of these
bastardize a
old
lot
school
of shit.
terms.
That's Anton's skipping through the stuff. It sounds crazy, but he's trying to find something. I don't know what he's doing.
No, it's not reprimand. It's not about my people who see you disrespect. Watching it, I'm texting.
Oh, there he is.
Now, punch him. Punch him. I'm him. Punch him right now. Darlene, fight.
There we go.
No other, nothing else. Dive over Darlene, fight, punch you, pack you out. Okay, so as I'm watching it, I'm texting the homie Craig, and I'm like, Craig, tell him, punch him right now. I'm texting the whole time, punch him now. Every time, hey, punch him right now. Craig, like, gee, I'm not there. No, text Corey, punch him now.
So Craig is the little homie.
Why you on Craig? He's talking about he invasively texting Craig to say, tell Corey to punch him right now. He can't let him keep talking and stuff. You punch him right now. Craig, like, hey man, I'm not even there. Y'all tripping. I can't be doing nothing. You know what I mean? And so what are you talking about Craig for?
It's Craig with
I'm sure Craig talked some junk, but in that situation.
What's Craig's name? Craig Facts. All right. Let me see something.
I gotta do one more episode, guys, because we do gotta respond to Anton responding to his daughter and wife getting brought into the actual conversation, and I gotta do that because Anton responds back by leaking or helping to leak, or allegedly helping to leak an old video that TMZ did on Corey about him hitting a lady outside of the Improv Hollywood Comedy Club, and giving him back, and then Corey responds to that. So I got to do one more episode, guys. So I'm gonna let them finish this conversation, and then I think I'm gonna leave it there, and we're gonna come right back in with Anton responding to Corey. Finish up Anton responding to Corey about using his daughter and his wife.
How old is Craig Facts? Craig Smith, that's his name? Craig Smith. Age. I don't know how old he is. 50.
I don't know what the point of it is.
Is that his name? The Craig Smith. I don't know how old he is, but he's clearly a grown man. He's clearly a grown man. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. They taking orders from everybody else in the background, telling them what to do. You got to get orders in a group chat in order to move the way that you're moving?
Well, that's what they talking about, exterior of what was going on. Corey, he's just doing whatever he's doing. He's filling you out. You filling him out. And you guys are somewhat like, after collecting yourself from like situations blowing up, you're kind of seeing like, oh, maybe I should be backing off a little bit because he's giving me some room here. Because he didn't say, the dick sucking stuff again, so I need to kind of collect myself and get up and pull back. You saying, hey man, look, I'm not gonna mess up our money. Let's get up and go out back. So you're pulling back too, and it gave you guys an outing, and obviously both parties decided this is the best thing to take an outing. You know, so I don't know what you're talking about. He don't need no battery put in his back. He was ready to go. When he said, hey, say that dick sucking again. If you say, hey man, you suck dick, he would have hit you. 100%. 100%. You know that too. He would have definitely did it. You know what I mean? He had no choice. You know, and then if he would have kind of fired on you, you would have fought him immediately. You don't care about the demonetization, nothing. I'm pretty sure Anton would have fought him. So that's what the situation is.
Listen, bro, I've lost respect for the whole 5150 platform across the board.
Yeah. Mika
I've
didn't.
lost complete.
Mika didn't. She lost respect for you. She said she has absolutely nothing against Corey, and she forgives Corey in the 5150 show. So she wild with it.
Respect for the whole 5150 platform across the board.
Okay, I'll leave it there. I'm gonna go back to Corey. Let me see.
What?
All right. Now, she look like she'll be like, fuck it, I'll be with this little fat nigga.
He's talking about his wife. I want to get to where he was saying that they wasn't standing on anything.
Baby, you ain't got to be worried about that nigga temper tantrums and all that shit like that. Come fuck with a real nigga. If y'all in Detroit, it's real niggas in Detroit. God damn it. They could come pick you up at his house. He ain't gonna do shit. You with a mark-ass nigga who's stressing you out. Because you saw it. I know you saw it, ma'am. When I said to your husband, I'm gonna do it in slow motion a little bit. Say I suck dick again. That nigga let your whole family down and bitched out. Y'all done. You will never live that moment down where he got punked in front of the nation. You think you supposed to fix it because you married to him. Look, I ain't gonna lie. I can't put you out front with my top 5 bitches, but I'll find you a slot just because you his wife. Come fuck with a real nigga. You know you can't stay with that nigga. His best years are over. What if you'd have had a boy? God damn, you'd have had a little slouchy little boy. You had a daughter, at least somebody will smash you. This motherfucker, them nights when them other bitches ain't answering the phone, they gonna call your daughter. Meanwhile, you could be over here with me, goddamn it. I got a bitch with some colder wigs than that you had on. Boy, that wig you got on, that's a starter kit wig. I got some bitches who do hair so good, boy, I'll make that bitch an 8. I'll make that bitch an 8, nigga. That bitch, what? Let me tell you something. I can make people think she look good. But yeah, your husband a straight mark-ass nigga. I sat in his lap. The nigga wouldn't even swing. I said, say it again, the nigga wouldn't swing. You can't fix that, baby. He can't be hiring people when he get in town, whatever town he go to, having strangers watching his back. That's the best way to get robbed. The man said, I got more money than Corey. Well, you just marked yourself, nigga. And whoever is his security, you know they don't fuck with him for real. Big shout out to dude who was hired to watch his back when he got to town. I sincerely mean this. You was a professional. You didn't come over here and act like you was trying to break up the fight and escalate nothing. To the dude who was here with him, who had to get stuck taking that cake-ass nigga home, hey, man, I know that money is hard, man. You got to get that paper. But you did a good job, man. You did a good, I'm glad you didn't try to interrupt with it. But back on this nigga and his family. The pain lives on, Ton. Full time. The pain lives on. I'm seeing what you was working with before you had money. It makes sense. Now I'm seeing who you paying to be around you. The bitch really was dissing you in that tape. She didn't stand on nothing with you on that tape because she knows she embarrassed to be with you. What's the little bitch?
Yeah, so she didn't stand on it, and that's why she hasn't been on the Anton Daniels shows and stuff, because I guess there's some divide there. You get what I'm saying? But look, we're gonna come back and we're gonna pick right back up where right here. This is where he's kind of talking about his kid and stuff like that, his underage child. been used. But like I said, and I'll say this again, I think it would have probably been best for Anton not to present his family on the camera and bring them into the public eye, because it's sharing pictures and stuff like that, because that gives the public the option to criticize the person and stuff, and it's fair use. You know what I mean? If you put photos and everything up there, and then you're saying that she's a minor, and she's like, I think she's a couple months away from being 18. And I heard you say that on one of your lives on the panels and stuff. So look, we're going to come back in. We're going to pick up right here, and we're going to follow this up, and we're going to get to Anton's response to Corey talking about his wife and his kid. In addition to that, Corey and then Anton actually releasing or allegedly helping to release a video of Corey attacking a woman outside a comedy club. Corey's response for that video, and Anton, and he actually revs it up even worse. So we're going to come back onto that, and then hopefully we can end this whole thing, because now most of the context that I wanted to talk to you guys about is there. I'll wrap it up and summarize this again. A lot of the society will have us say that and formulate that we must be passive, we must be welcoming, we must be communicative in our decision making and our judgmental situation to what it takes to win and what it takes to lead our lives. But if you really pay attention to what the people that are actually winning and actually doing, and that the system is actually showing them favor, it's the people that just taking. They just doing what they want. They just taking, and they just kind of going for the goal and outcome that they want. You know what I mean? You got the legal immigration, people coming over here. We don't even have enough money to take care of our needy people in the country, but we let 15 to 20 million people just come in. That's like that, like the amount of people that needed to come illegally into the country over the next 25 years came in 4 years under Biden. That wasn't by accident. That was an actual, if you go do your research, you'll find out that NGOs and churches and all kind of people was over on the other side of the border, over in Mexico, and saw in different countries, helping to migrate people in to cross over our borders. So we had a lot of churches, a lot of white liberals, a lot of white Christians, you get what I'm saying? A lot of them helping an over influx of 20 to 25 years of immigration within 4 years. That's disruptive to the economic structure of like America. The amount of houses is not enough houses for that. It's not enough cash flow. It's not enough to get that major jump like that. So that's what's going on in our economy. But if you summarize this and you use your common sense, you'll find out that it's no way to repair it. You're kind of going to be victimized by it on a day-to-day basis unless you take initiative, and you need to bulldoze down what the system has in mind for you and take what's yours. Okay? That's what Anton doing. That's what a lot of other people doing. A lot of celebrities you love, a lot of musicians, a lot of actors, a lot of politicians, a lot of corporate execs and everybody. That's what they're doing. They're taking it. They're taking what they want out of this world. And you guys need to do that. And the first thing you need to do by understanding that you must be in self-preservation. Sucks. That's the way our society is, but that's the number one rule and the number one mindset that you need to start having. What it takes to preserve the hub, the number one person in the circle. And if that's you, you need to preserve that person. You need to preserve yourself. You need to be self-preservation. You almost need to be shallow and egomaniac and isolated. Okay? My name is Daris D. McKinney. This is Individual Perspective Podcast. Please hit the like, follow, and subscribe. In addition, hit that individualperspectivepodcast@gmail.com. I want you guys to join me on the panel. Leave me your email, and we can get to it. individualperspectivepodcast@gmail.com. My name is Daris D. McKinney, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I know this was a lot. There's a lot of psychosis stuff to go over. We're gonna do one more. Hopefully, we be up to date, and that situation don't grow anymore. That I gotta do another episode on it. Check you guys out, and I'll see you in the next one.